Hi, thank you for tuning in again. In our last episode, I talked about the dark night of the soul, which is the feeling of the absence of God, and that I had gone through that for a really long time. And we also talked about backing up your prayers with actions. And so the action that I took was to start telling the truth about my life to all people involved. And that did start a cascade of things happening. And so I was here in Texas and I was watching my friend's cats, and my friends came back from vacation, and I had told her while she was on vacation, I told my friend Julie what was going on and that I was probably going to be moving to Austin. And she shared that with her husband. And so they had a conversation about it. And when they came back, my friend Julie asked her husband, Adam, to share with me what they had decided. It occurred to Adam that I would probably end up staying in their spare room for a while I transitioned to this new place. And what he said to me was this, and this was the final thing I needed to hear. He said, "Whatever you need, for as long as you need, we're here for you." And that was the last thing I needed to hear. I had already talked to my ex-husband, and I had already been really honest with him about the fact that I needed to move and that our relationship was what they call in the scriptures unequally yoked. We were not compatible. He didn't really believe in the thing that was most important to me, which is my faith and my ministry and my relationship to God. He just didn't understand that part of me. And it's really hard to love someone completely if you don't even understand the thing that is the most important thing in their world. So there were, I said, nobody has done anything wrong, but I cannot stay in a situation like this. I need to move to a place where I can have better all-around health. So I went home. I packed up my SUV, celebrated my son's birthday with him. He was turning 18. And a few days later, I think it was November 1st of 2021, I drove to Texas with only what fit in my SUV. I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have a place to live other than Julie and Adam's spare room, which that wasn't going to be a permanent thing. And when I left Wisconsin, I really had no idea where I was going to live, where I was going to work, who I was going to meet. I knew nothing. All I knew is that this is where I needed to be. So long drives are kind of hard for me. So I spent the night in Oklahoma City on the drive down to Texas. And in the hotel that night, I got a text from Julie that said that through a friend of a friend, there was a house available in Pflugerville, Texas, that I could go and look at on my way to her house to see if I wanted to live there, because it would be available if I wanted it to be. And I remember thinking, God is showing up. Now remember, God had felt absent to me for over a decade. And all of a sudden, when I started telling the truth, believing in myself, taking action on my own behalf, God wrapped me in love and started providing for whatever I needed. It was like God was saying the same thing Adam said. Whatever you need, for as long as you need, I'm here for you. when God has been absent for over a decade and God starts showing up like that to say, oh, you need a place to live? Here you go. 2 weeks later, I applied for a job at Triumphant Love Lutheran Church, and I went to that interview and they offered me that job, and I'm like, it was the perfect fit for me. And the interesting thing is, nobody had applied for that job. They had had it listed for months. It was like they were waiting for me. And I'd been doing youth ministry for a really long time, and this was a job teaching adults, which I had not done before. But man, has that opened up my world. It was the perfect fit, it seemed, both for me and for the congregation. And all these amazing things started happening that it was like God was just waiting for me to say, I'm here. Go where you want me to go. Tell me where to be. Tell me what to do. I'll be there. And things just started happening. I was so overwhelmed by the presence of my God, and the actions that God was taking in my life. And I still sometimes think about that and am utterly amazed. I really believe that God wants us to believe in ourselves and in our own value as people. And if there's anyone in your life that is making you feel like you're not valuable, I hope you find better people to hang out with. The one friend that connected me to my friend Julie was that we shared a man whose name was Kermit, and he sort of adopted us as his girls. He never had kids of his own, so he adopted me and Julie. That's the term that he used. And he used to say, you need to surround yourself with people who help you feel good about yourself. Don't hang out with people who wear you down or tear you down, because you're worth more than that. And what matters is how you feel when you're with people. Sometimes people can say all the right things and do all the right things, but you just feel somehow less than in their presence. Those are not your people. You get to choose your tribe. You even get to choose your family. Some of my best family are the people that I chose to be family. Like Julie, like Kermit, and many, many others. So I hope you find a tribe that helps you understand your own worth, because you are valuable in the eyes of God, and you need to know that. No one can take that from you, and don't let them. And if you know somebody who needs to hear this message, I really hope that you will send them this video along with your love, your support, and your recognition of their value in your life. You could help change the world. Thank you. I'll see you next time.